chord changes of Just You, Just Be. I don't know if you know that tune. You know that tune, John? Did you play Just You, Just Me? It's on my iPad. That's Just You, Just Me. So Thelonious Monk was wonderful for this. He wrote all kinds of weird stuff on top of really, inside tunes, and they became outside tunes. So we're just going to demonstrate this a little bit, and I'm still open to any questions you guys have. We're going to talk about vocals too. Scott had something that somebody had asked him about, getting into the vocal after a drum solo. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You don't. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I put that rhythmic, he bookend the rhythmic figures in the front and in the back of his solo. I thought that was really cool, and I loved the little turnaround on the end as well. The second had to do with just rhythmic feel. You know, we talk about laying back in jazz, and there's a lot of occasion for that. I've been working with my trumpet players in master class and also in my combo group. There was a lot of occasions, and I played with this trumpet player, Carl Saunders, in town, and he really taught me that, you know, it's not always about laying back. Sometimes you just got to drive it. And this is a great example of these upbeats. You can't think too far back. You can't think far back on these things. You're going to be late. Right. So you got to be up on the time. The third observation is just, you know, in songwriting, we talk about melodic phrases. What is the sentence? What is the thing you're trying to communicate? And all these rhythmic figures are, in a micro way, they're placed rhythmically right in a specific spot. But what is the overall impression? I think of this old man, like sitting, you know, he's been married to his wife forever, he's sitting at the table, and so there's an expression there. You want to communicate that.
Yeah, right. That was one. Yeah, right. So my favorite guitarist always was Jim Hall. Yeah. Jim Hall was a wonderful player. He was also a wonderful composer. He had a real compositional sense when he improvised. And one of the things he said in an interview, he's a real smart guy, says, don't just improvise on the changes, improvise on the entire song. So when you're first learning the language, you learn essentially a generic language, right? You learn how to take major and minor, blues ideas and move them around. And for a while, that's the ticket into the game. And there's a certain point where that starts to become a problem, because if you do that too much, you start to play the same solo in every tune. So to me, you know, what are the things involved in tune? Well, there's this melody, the harmony, the rhythm, the form, and for me, the thing. All tunes have a thing, and sometimes it's an indefinable thing, but it's part of the character of the tune. And most tunes always have a thing. So as best I can, I try to play off of the thing of the tune. I'm not trying to think about it. I'm aware of the fact that there's something different about this type of tune with these funny offbeat melodies than a log floor and bebop one. It's not a better way to do it. There's one other advantage to that, is if I'm following someone like Scott, who's just played a ripping bebop solo, it's a really good idea if I go in a different direction. All right, there's a little bit of that is just jazz survival, because I can't chase him, but I might find something else.
Another observation, when playing with younger players, what do you play on the end of the song? A lot of times I'll be in maybe a session or something, and I'll play, you know, a certain note, and someone will be next to me is like, oh, that's the note? Okay, I'll play that note too. So thinking about, okay, are you playing the lead? I'm playing the lead line, the trumpet player, kind of the lead line, so I'm just going to stay in my spot. I know these guys are going to grab another cool note, and that's going to, did you notice how we balanced into a three-part harmony on the end? It gets kind of tricky too. It's like, well, what do you grab? Don't take the note that your guy next to you is taking. But you, again, it depends on a little bit of the ear. It's like, okay, what other note choices are there?
Well, the other funny thing is when you got two or more arrangers in the horn section, you know, they're always going for the same notes. Roger and I used to
well, you took the cool one, okay.
Well, I knew what the melody was, and I knew somebody would play that, so I didn't play that. I played a step above, and I knew nobody else would want that.
Scott and I had a running thing, a joke. Well, it was kind of a thing that I was doing on the minor chords. On the first night we had the jam session down in the brewery, I was hitting the sharp 11 on the minor chords. I said to Scott, it's going to be a thing tonight. You know? so then we did My Funny Valentine. It was in the key of C minor. And at the end chord, they instead of going to the C minor, they hit the E flat major, which sometimes people do on the end of it. I still went for the sharp 4 on the minor, which ended up being the sharp 9 on the major.
You serious Valentine's?
Or sharp 9 with a major 7. Now we're really
yeah, right.
Now, one of the things we always stress to think about on the solos, and young players don't do this very well, should. It's the thing about how you're going to start the solo, or the nature of it, not the notes, but just the nature of it, and the nature of how you're going to end the solo. Because what you're doing is, as we've said many times, you're telling a story. You're not just playing notes, you're telling a story. You know, one dark and dreary night, you say, you know, start and at the end it says, so everybody lived happily ever after. You know. So you want to start simple. And I had in mind that I didn't want to follow what these guys were doing, like, literally, and
Your first mistake.
yeah. So it was an E flat. So I went for an E natural and held it for a while. You know. We have a guy, a friend of ours, John Gross, and he finds the note that won't fit in the chord and plays the hell out of it. So he calls them the red notes. You know.
That's the way Thad Jones used to do that. He'd find the most interesting note over a particular chord change and use that as a departure point and go further right from there. Yeah, so,
But hitting the E on E flat, and we're pretty much in E flat at the first few chords, it creates tension, right? But it's simple. You know, I wasn't going for a lot of stuff. I knew what I wanted to convey. And a lot of times I'll start with this solo and this on the solo, and all of a sudden this circumstances change and I forget what I was going to do and I do something else. That's 90% of the time.
I do that too.
I can't plan how it starts.
Well, if you could clarify, because what it sounded like you just said was Thad Jones would go for the most interesting thing on a chord and then go from there. So his solo became progressively less and less interesting.
The Stravinsky of jazz trumpet.
The thing is a lot of Thad was doing was extensive when he was as a writer. Because one of the things that Thad Jones loved to do is just throw wrong notes in chords. There'd be a big chord, and somewhere in the middle there, he'd put a note that was just wrong.
Yeah.
It would just rub a little bit. And so, you know, there's this idea that if a note is interesting in a chord, it's interesting in a melody against the chord. You know, so you can imagine, you know, Gil Evans sitting around his apartment playing all these chords, and the saxophone player's leaning over, ooh, okay.
Right.
Right? And so if that has this idea of I really like the way this one note rubs when I put it in the voicing in my chart, well, I'm going to take it when I'm a soloist and you know, use that as an idea.
Yeah.
As you expand as an improviser, your inside will become larger and larger. In other words, things that sound out to you in the beginning will be moved over into your inside compartment. Things that initially when I listened to it when I was younger, I'm like, oh, that's really out. And I hear it now and I just hear it as extended harmony. I don't hear it as outside.
Right.
You know, what that is it's pain. And one of the things we have to get in touch with is our inner masochist. We like pain. We like spicy foods. We like the burn of muscles. There are a couple other analogies I won't pursue. I'm very careful when I do this with students. There is a reason why these notes are omitted from children's music. It's the same reason you don't put mustard on the hamburger.
They're satanic.
They're satanic. they're not really part of our adult experience is not like to recognize pain, but to crave it. We love these tensions, you know. And so as we get older, we become more and more sophisticated. It's like, I like it, bring it on. Bring some more rock notes. The other thing is, all this seems very highfalutin, but think of our baby improv class. What we're doing the other day with chromatic notes, right? Finding a note that's a half step off from our arrival, and then resolving it. In a way, all we're doing is taking that same idea and just pushing it a lot further.
Well, an example of what you're talking about, finding a note that rubs on the chord. The last chord in Thad Jones's chart, 3 and 1, it's one of the classic big band charts of all time. It's an E flat 7, sharp 9. The trumpet section has a B triad. B, la, la, la. With the B on top, yeah. So it's like, you know, the uninitiated might look at that and say, that sounds it because he's, you know, Thad knew what he was doing. He knew how to superimpose things. Think about Igor Stravinsky when he wrote the Firebird or the Rite of Spring. He was using bitonality in 1910. You know, and you know, it found its way into jazz, like starting in the 50s probably, right? But, you know, Igor Stravinsky was doing that stuff in 1910. Yeah, so, you know.
One of the favorite notes, favorite chords that Bill Evans uses, I've found out, is a major 7 chord with a +5.
Oh, yeah.
Play it. That's the first chord in Star Wars. As the scroll goes by, you know, it's way up high in the strings, but it's like, as many thousand years ago, whatever it says. Yeah, that's the first chord.
Long ago in a galaxy far, far away, somebody played a sharp 5.
Okay, any questions before we do the next two with Kimberly?
Did anybody notice one other difference about Kim Richmond's solo on this, aside from the fact that he started with a really out note that was going on? I mean, a lot of the stuff that goes by really quickly, and because it works, you don't think about it. But can anybody tell me one other difference about Kim's solo from everybody else?
Oh, what was he doing?
Well, okay, so Chris Steinberg thought, you know, I'm going to drop out. And he probably thought about,
Well, because I could just get the sense Kim was planning something, so I thought, I'm gonna do right out the window.
so the first thing was the texture after a whole bunch of solos in a row where he had sort of the standard rhythmic texture going on. The beginning of his solo was instantly different because Chris was like, you know, I'm gonna lay out for a while. And it wasn't like he laid out in that moment probably absolutely certain about when he was going to come back in or whatever. He just said, I'm going to get out of the way for a little while.
I was going to wait another chorus, but then you do that roll.
See? We got the other chorus and I thought, no, we're going to. So I started foreshadowing, like, come on guys, let's bring it back. So he comes in. And that's a great example of, like, I was thinking ahead and I thought, well, we're coming to the end of the first chorus and, you know, it feels like it'd be fun to just get her back in. Plus, everybody else had done 2 choruses on their solos. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out is that Kim got to the end of 2 choruses and he had so much stuff to say. And he didn't have to look over and go, I'm taking another chorus. You can tell by the way he was playing that he was not wrapping up his solo. And so we got to about the last 4 bars and I was like, okay, he's going on. And not only that, but Kim started working. And he started breaking away from stuff that was real standard. He started doing some hums and squeaks and stuff. And the rhythm section, hopefully without overpowering, I mean, the temptation is always to start leaping around, and sometimes I go too far, but I was talking to the drummers the other day, if a horn player is playing real inside, and you're playing super, super active, it's incongruent, it doesn't make sense. It's equally incongruent if you have a horn player who's taking his solo, he has an arc to his solo that's 3 courses long, and it kept going and going. And if I had just sat there playing time, you know, quarter notes like I did at the beginning, underneath him going, it doesn't sound right. So if you're in the rhythm section, you know, you have to notice the character of not just the song and everything else, but like, what is the soloist doing on this very solo right now? And what do I have to do to make sure that what I'm doing feels like it belongs with that? So we got a little more active, and Kim might have been going, hey, cool out. But it was, you know, we all went there together.
There's one exception to that rule. If your wife is going,
Don't do the same.
Listen to Dave talk about how he's listening to song form and how he's paying attention to the arcs and the construction. And aside from the fact that he speaks about it so well, did you notice how well constructed that drum solo was?
Yeah. Yeah, the melody that
You
you
could hear the
played.
Yeah.
I want to sing that back, and I thought, it's so simple and it's so beautiful. It tied everything together.
Right.
But what Dave is doing, aside from the fact that Dave is a terrific drummer, he's also a singer, so he has a whole other way of accessing to it. And he's a really good musician, and so it isn't just, I'm going to bang some exciting stuff. Everything has a beautiful shape to it.
Well, I thought he was singing in his head.
I was.
Those accents of the lyrics, and you know, I mean, I knew exactly where we were all.
I think one of the things, when I'm working with drum students on constructing solos, especially over chorus, we were talking about it yesterday. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the default should be, first of all, that you play the form of the tune.
Right.
You don't take some wide open solo just because you're not playing a pitched instrument. And the other thing is you should try to have a melodic aspect, whether it's, even if it's a lot of little licks, there's still room for you to construct that in a way that sounds like a composition. And I'm so into that way of thinking because it's so easy for drummers to just fall into just this lick goes after this lick after that one, and a lot of drummers, I think, do think that way. But then I turn to horn players and other people and say, well, you're not doing anything different than that either. You're just putting this lick and this lick and this lick. How about if you start using a little bit of space? How about if you start thinking in statements and be comfortable with the space that is between those statements? So all players on all instruments can use a larger dose of that. One of the things I was going to say when we were playing this morning in the improv class in here, if I got around to it, was don't just leap in playing. Think for a second about what you want to play. Do like Kim and come in with a little bit of a plan and then let it sit for a second and then you stop and you go, let's see, where do I want to go next? And then it may only be a beat or two, but it's enough for there to begin to be a sound of you. Like I'm in the audience, I want to be hearing the gears turning in your head. Like you're thinking, okay, I just played this, now maybe I'll play that. Oh, and then from here I'll move there. The audience wants to hear that. And if you're regardless of what your instrument is, if you're just going, well, let's see, I'm on this chord, so I'm playing this arpeggio, and now I'm here, and if you just sort of leap in playing without really thinking about, like your air just starts going through your horn and your fingers start moving, and you haven't really thought about what you're trying to do, you're not going to have that compositional sense. To me, the big distinction is, are you composing or are you filling up space? And that is always the thing that I'm keeping my eye on.
Can I add something? Ends of solos or ends of phrases, I tend to think of them as that's a time to respond. It's like your mind actually repeats what was just heard. It's like a little echo. What you leave it, we were talking about this, I think, in improv about question and answer, like leaving phrases that are open-ended so that there's more to do after that.
Right.
If it sounds final, then it sounds final, right? You're done. But if you leave these questions, Charlie Parker was great at doing that.
Yeah.
Cannonball was great at doing that. You knew there was something more to happen because the way they ended the phrases is really, I think, key.
It can even be as basic, though, as an example of hearing somebody give a speech, right? You're lost if they just are constantly talking with no pause and all the stuff they have to say. You know, and you're like, oh, just come on, take a breath, right?
Get to the point.
They will say something, and especially if it's something complex or profound, they'll give you time to digest it. And you go, ooh.
And they might say it twice.
And they still have your attention, right? You don't lose, just because they pause for a second, your mind doesn't wander off. You're thinking, whoa, wow, and then, continue. It's the same when you're playing.
Yeah, that's exactly.
If somebody's paying attention, you're like, oh, they're still there.
I mean, the moment that you end a phrase and leave some space, the audience instantly is thinking, oh, okay, like he said, your mind kind of plays back what was just played, like you can now recall it as a solid statement. You sort of recall it. And then the next thing is, I wonder what's coming next. Like now you have a statement and you wonder, whereas the person who goes on and on and on and on, after a while, you lose touch with that. So as a player, yeah. I'm telling my drum students, when you take a solo, if you get 2 or 3 bars in and you haven't put a pause or anything, just at a certain point, pick a drum and a beat. Beat 2, snare drum.
Yeah.
Just end your sentence.
Yeah. Punctuation.
And then wait a second. And I always say you can't be certain of it, but 99% of the time, if you do that, your brain will, in about half a second or less, will go, that was neat. You know what would be cool after that? Is this. And that's the only way you can keep composing. You got to put those little.
Well, and what all these guys are saying is let the music breathe. Sometimes the silence is just as important as the note choice. And the other thing about don't just leap in when it's your turn to solo, the other part of that is let the person before you finish the statement, let the statement resonate for a minute. You know, now it's your turn, you know, after the applause.
We've all heard the speaker, a great orator, speak, and suddenly he makes a statement. Silence. The power of that silence, just a pause for a second. It's like, it pulls the audience into what's next.
One of the masters, as far as I'm concerned, of leaving space is Clay Jenkins.
Yeah.
Trumpet player from Indianapolis.
Yeah, he's not even here.
He will
Geographic space.
He will play, you know, trumpets and so forth, and then he will put the trumpet down. He will not only back away, but he will like this, and he will think, you know, and the time will go by, and it's right as part of the solo. I don't mean he doesn't play great, he plays great, but that's the crowning moment, you know, when he does that. Even so long that somebody else might feel, oh, he's done with the solo, I'll take a solo down.
Right.
But where they start clapping or something like that.
He goes to his car and comes back.
Leaving the rhythm section.
So a bunch of years ago, I was at Capitol Records doing a dumb little session, and I walked through the hallway to read right here, there as a young kid, and the first person I saw was Miles Davis. He says, hey! So all the time I'm doing this dumb little session, Miles Davis is next door. So I go into the men's room on a break, I'm walking out, and Miles walks in and starts taking a whiz. And these are one of those crossroad moments in your life. Mr. Davis, thank you very much. I love your music, I really appreciate it. He goes, great, thanks. Hey, what are you doing here? And he starts a small talk with people, which is the last thing in the world I thought he would do. There was nothing interesting I had to say. So I said, Mr. Davis is so-and-so still playing guitar with him. He said, yeah, he's still playing with him. I go, boy, I really like his playing this. Yeah, but he gets real nervous and he starts to play all this stuff. I gotta tell him, you gotta slow down so that you can hear the tune. You gotta slow down so you can feel the groove of the tune. I said, I know I do the same thing too sometimes. And Miles says, you just gotta slow down. It was great. That's what $500.
Yeah, funny you mentioned that. I was in the bathroom and saw Miles Davis pee too, and he turned his back to the earlobe and peed all over the floor.
So I'm following all the urinal jokes. Thank you. Welcome to my world. Okay, you learn to live with it after a while. And now I'm going to try and employ everything I just heard, just like way too much pressure.
What's on?
Let's do Alone Together. In B.
Did you want to?
Okay, I'm always after her about saying, suggesting what I suggested at one point here. I like to hear the singer do two choruses instead of do a chorus and then open it up. Do two choruses.
Two courses.
Yeah, I was wishing you did that last night, but you didn't want to.
I
So,
will never not do it again.
because the house chorus, you did all the variations, you know, and that was great. I said, boy, why couldn't she have done that?
Why couldn't she have done that? Now that you've announced it to
Just
the
I want
world.
more time for that.
What key really?
A minor.
So, who's the performance? Suss it out before we get
You want to do it one time? Just to say a chord. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alone together, beyond the crowd, above the world, we're not together, to clean together, strong as forest, alone together, the blinding rain, the starless night, words not will fade. We can live as long as we're alone together. Our love is as deep as the sea. It's as sweet as the bee, and we can weather great unknown. Live on.
Outside, and he's so upset he throws himself behind the train.
I got so much money, more than you will ever see. But that don't mean I ain't got troubles always following me. You know it's hard to get by when you've got so much to lose. but every other day I have the blues. One day I heard Joe Williams singing how he's always feeling blue. I pulled my Porsche off the road and shouted, brother, I'm with you. Although we live very different lives, you know we've all got to pay our dues. Yes, we do. I ain't down as much as Joe was, but every other day I have the blues. Well, on Sunday I found out my butler's asking for a raise, and Wednesday I got drunk and broke $1,000 vase. My chef was sick on Friday and he never did appear. I had to cook for myself, and that's the second time this year. You see, my life is no pleasure group, because every other day I got the blues. Well, on Sunday I played poker and I lost a couple grand. And Tuesday I played tennis, got a blister on my hand. I play the horses Thursdays and I always lose my share. But like Joe Williams said, nobody ever seems to care. You wouldn't want to walk a mile in my shoes. No, cause every other day I get the blues. I'm gonna take a couple here. Batu gatu batu diku batu deku batu batu da. Abago dibago gaga bo better do 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 batu 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 deku da da batu batu. I got to go back to Yes, every other day, I truly have the blues. Some days I get so annoyed, I just have to hang my head and cry. Take, for example, the day the freight elevator in my mansion was out of order. Well, my afternoon nap was completely ruined by the sound of the servants clattering up and down the stairs. Then, one day I left my Ferrari parked across the property at the stables. So the valet brings it back, I get down to the athletic club for lunch, and the maitre d' has given away my favorite table. Then today my pilot called. He says, my jet can't fly this weekend because it needs engine maintenance. Well, there goes my trip to Banff. I know, I can fly first class on American or something, but I gotta tell you, I cannot stand flying on those commercial airlines. No. Now what would Joe say I should do? Not feeling blue half the time. Guess I could pack my suitcase up and just move halfway down the line. But then I miss my giant house with its panorama.